What's up, everyone? In today's episode, I got a chance to sit down and talk to Cal and Josh of Perth. We get a chance to talk about their tour, but more importantly, their new single Moments and what it means to them as a band, as individuals, and what they want their fans to feel while listening. But before we get into it, if you like the content, please consider subscribing to myself, Drop Click Images, to Rock DNA Magazine, and Perth. Rock DNA Magazine is an independent publication. Perth is an independent band, and myself, I am an independent artist. And without a simple like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channels, we can't beat the algorithm, which means we can't grow our audience and grow this community to what we want. So again, if you like the content, consider subscribing. And without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're live. How's everything going?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm doing great. How's tour been?
It has been. So we've had a few intimate shows. Kansas City was a Tuesday, and the energy was great. And then St. Paul 2 days ago. I don't even know what day it is, man. And we play in Chicago tonight. So hoping the energy just keeps getting better and better. And the crowds don't need to be the biggest crowds, right? It just needs to be impactful, and that's what we're here to do. So I think we're really excited about it, and we're really excited to see what the rest of tour brings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Chicago is awesome. Like I've been there multiple times for Riot Fest and other shows, and every single time the crowd is insane. Yeah, you can't beat them. Has there been a moment so far though with tour where you're like, holy shit?
I don't think we've had that holy shit moment just yet, especially that this is now our third day. Yeah.
Today could be the holy shit moment.
Yeah. Chicago knows how to throw down. Let's do it, Chicago.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh yeah. But before we get into the new single, I am curious about Minnesota because I've never been. I always wanted to go. How is the music scene there?
Music scene is pretty good. I feel that, well, because we're originally from Minneapolis, but us as a band have actually just relocated to Colorado.
Also, another place I've never been to.
Yep. Right at the beginning of this month, we all have officially taken residency out there. But
awesome,
as far as Minneapolis goes, the scene is a good scene. It just feels like there's a plateau after a certain point. And not to say that we're anything huge, but we still want to take opportunities and continue to grow past that ceiling. And moving a little bit towards the West Coast, we're noticing more opportunities open up for us.
Yeah.
But we still love Minneapolis.
Yeah. It's kind of like where I'm at. I'm in Buffalo, Rochester, New York area where, the scene it's good. It's great for bands coming up, but there is a plateau and you hit it fairly quick where eventually you need to either move. If you want to go to New York City, you can do that. We got Toronto, but like you said, you got to go to a major market. Yeah. But still, Colorado is awesome. So I want to get into your single because I know you guys are short on time. You guys just released Moments, which, like I said before, it's awesome. If people haven't listened to it, go stream it. It's out everywhere. I can't say enough good things. I've listened to it 5 times today. I'm going to be honest.
Thank you.
Yes. I guess what inspired the track? I'm very curious about that.
I'll take this one. The general theme is loss, right? I think at this time, we were just going through a lot. Personally, I think Josh had exited a relationship. I did. My grandmother passed away. Jared's mom had passed away like 5 years before. And we were all just like, you know what? Let's write a song. I think we came up with the song in like a week, lyrics shortly thereafter, and just kind of have sat on it for 4 years. And prior to that, I would say our EP was kind of followed the same thing, but this is like the newest piece of music in 5 or 6 years. So that's the general theme. And just kind of like, I think there's a line in no, actually, that's in Halcyon, not this song. But the song is just about like appreciating what you have while you have it. And I don't think enough people really talk about that. And all of us have taken shit for granted. So taking a moment, taking a breath, and like, if you do lose something, at least try to remember the positives about that. We're we're a bunch of sappy boys at the end of the day who have feelings. But yeah, just living it while you have it, you know? You want to add anything? Awesome.
I think that's why I resonate with it, because I think there's a lot of shit going on in the world. And like just a couple weeks ago, I had a funeral and a wedding on the same day. I had literally, my aunt passed away, and then 3 hours after that, I had to go DJ a wedding. So it was just, that was a day.
Did they have an open bar?
Surprisingly, I'm sober. I'm 11 years sober. I'm 33. I just stopped drinking because it was,
dude.
one side of my family, they're not alcoholics, but they love to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I'm like, well, it's a gamble, and I'm just going to pull out I was done. I was like, I don't want to be part of that risk.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was an emotional day of one extreme to the other. And I think a lot of that with your song of appreciating things in the moment is just like, it really hit hard. And that's why I listened to it 5 times today.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite lines is these moments that pass me by, little things that remind me of you. It's just, I think Jared's talking to his mom about that. I mean, we all have our own, what's the word? Or words. We all have our own perspective of what the song means to us, but I'm glad it resonates with you. And I think that's what's important to us as a band, as a group of dudes. We had another interview today, and we were speaking with someone. We give a shit about how people feel. You know, we want them to come to our show. We want them to enjoy being with us. We are people. We're not a big band, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to be? Sure. I think our whole thing is impact. We just want to reach people. So it graces my ears to hear you say that, like, it's resonated with you. That means so much to me. Thank you, man.
Yes. Double down on that with you guys saying that you want to be a part with your fans and have that connection. Bands need to do that more.
They sure do.
There's bands like Being as an Ocean. I don't know if you guys heard of them. Emotional.
I've heard the name. I don't think I've listened to them a whole hell of a lot. You?
I've listened to like 1 or 2 songs, but not recently.
Yeah, I mean, Joel, the singer, it's emotional hardcore, but he is very connected with his fans, where after the set, he's at the merch table signing everything, taking photos. Like, he wants to hear your stories. Yeah. And then also bigger bands like Currents. I watched them close out with Era, and after that set, the bassist and the guitarist were talking to fans for another 20 minutes after the set until security kicked us all out. Yeah. And I'm just watching. I'm like, that's what music's about. Yeah. That community, we need more of that.
Yeah. And I'm not going to name names. I definitely have been around bands
that have the ego.
That have the ego, and like they're local. And I'm like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
I've been a fan of your band for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. I still love you guys, but like, none of us are that famous, and we do not need to be acting like that, you know? And it's imperative that we remember how we got to where we are. Sure, we like to think we're talented enough to draw people in with our music, right? But when you get to hang out with people and hear their stories and really just connect with them, like, there's nothing better than that to me. You're the reason we're doing it, right? You're the reason we get to have this interview, and this song has, like you said, it's connected with you. So to see this shit happen in real time, amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm sorry I keep talking. I'm a yapper. This happened in the last interview. Josh is like, you said everything I was gonna say. Someone should take this microphone away from me.
No, you gotta love it. You gotta have fun. Like, seeing both of you guys smile and talk, like, I love this stuff.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about for me. Where, like, don't get me wrong, yes, I want to be a touring photographer and all that, but I love conversation with strangers, with artists, and just get to know them as a person. Like, yes, you guys are an artist, but people want to know who you are besides the guitarist or drummer or singer, whatever it may be.
Also, if you run into JT or anybody from Aragon, tell them Kale said hello. I love those dudes very, very much. They deserve every bit of attention that they are receiving right now.
Yes, they do.
And I think, have we played with Currents? Was that on a show? We might not have. It might have been a show we were at, but I love those dudes, and I'm so happy for them. So I'm happy. It sounded like you got to connect with them, right?
I've been trying to have a meeting or a podcast with them, but it
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet. But
Yeah.
like watching JT, just he's vibing to the songs, and I'm
Yeah.
just like watching him, like, dude, you're
You're like,
so
wow.
yeah. Well, I see him. He's having so much fun. They all are. I'm just like, I have a stupid smile on my
Yeah.
face, and just like, this is music. This is
Yeah,
what I love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So any bands that like they don't take it for granted, which I love.
Yeah, no, they're some of the best dudes I've ever met. So I love them to death.
Back to the sun
Back
moments.
to us.
Yes. When writing, because like your previous EP, Revenant, it had a lot of progressive G-Gent inspired riffs with some technical elements that were hidden. How has your songwriting evolved over the years?
I'll have both of us answer this, but I'm the nerdy boy, so I will continue to hold on to the microphone. I think Josh and I kind of looked at that. We liked it. It was thematic. I think we're calling ourselves cinematic metalcore because we're trying to make it sound like it should be a part of a soundtrack. But what we've done now is we've kind of gotten better as songwriters. So a little bit of tea for everybody here. We're doing a music video in September, and then the rest of this Moments is a part of our next EP, which will be called Running in Place. And these songs we're really proud of. Not like they're gonna change our lives, but hopefully, again, impactful. They feel that way listening to them. Josh and I just really sat down. Usually what happens is I'll either write a riff or Josh will write a riff, or Cam, our drummer, will come to us with an idea. And I'm the self-proclaimed band producer, so I'll be like, all right, let's write a riff around this. Can we write a chorus around it? So we've kind of got catchier songs, not because we're selling out. We're just, when you listen to songs, and I don't know if you feel this way, Dan, but I definitely want to be like, fuck, I love that part, you know? Like Bad Habit by Volumes. The intro of that song, it's that ear candy just gets stuck in your ear. So it's I'm not saying it's Bad Habit, but it's definitely more, there's definitely more for the listener to enjoy. And Josh and I have just kind of honed our songwriting skills to a point where we're really proud of it. And it'll still be heavy. What? The Revenant? I think when we wrote that song, I was like, I want to write a dumb song. And Josh was like, how low do you want to tune? And I was like, yeah. Keep it going. And that's a song we finished our set with. But dude, it rips. And it makes me so happy. So we still have some elements of ourselves, and elements of Revenant will be in new stuff, but we've just we're not taking the Wage War approach, and I love Wage War. No shade on them whatsoever. Yeah. One of my favorite bands. But damn, their songs slap. And they're catchy. You can have both. Everybody can win, you know? You can actually have your cake and eat it too. Who knew? You can add to this because I got to shut the hell up.
To kind of go off what Kale was saying is, yeah, there's going to be progression in our sound, but we're not going to be losing ourselves into like how can we have this pop structure type of song. Yeah. And I'm very fortunate to, be able to write with Kale when it comes to our songwriting and our song structure. We both think very similarly and have the same vision on where the sound should be going, where the song should be progressing to. And the overall vibe of what the EP is now, I'm very happy with those songs. I know we had 4 songs originally for the EP. I don't even think we had a title for it, but we kind of scrapped those songs, and we really liked Moments, and we kind of built around that world that Moments is, the sound that it is. And yeah, we're very excited to, share this song with people, and then, get them ready for the final EP Running in Place later this year.
Yeah, I'm already excited. I've only heard one song.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. But is there any influences or ideas that help shape this album?
A lot. I'll let Kale start with this one.
You gotta quit giving this thing to me, dude. I'd say if I could give you what it sounds like without giving it away, I would take... One of my favorite producers of all time is Let me try that again. Dan Bronstein. Dan Bronstein. I mean, he works with Volume, Spirit Box, Dayseeker. And that's kind of how we're trying. I'm not Dan Bronstein. I can't mix like Dan Bronstein, but I like his ear for production a lot.
Yes.
So definitely volumes, and I think they've always been a major influence. Us. The etherealness of Spirit Box. There's a lot of like washed out, reverby stuff. Atmosphere we've kind of really trying to create. I was actually working on one of our mixes yesterday, and it is just dude, I cannot wait to like be like, all right, people listen to it now. We're also not super protective of our music. Like obviously we want to roll it out and release it, but I think guitar for me, I love Mike Stringer. What a god on guitar. But Josh and I have always been just rhythmic dudes. We'll have there is a guitar solo in one of our songs, and it's not crazy. It's vibey, kind of like in Halcyon, one of our other songs. But like, we're doing what comes to us, and I think we said this in the other interview. I think music is just like, all right, you got a song, ship it out, send it off. We just take the Tool approach. Whenever the fuck we come out with music, that's what you get. But influences, yeah. I mean, I listen from anything from Noah Kahan all the way to Celine Dion. It really doesn't matter. And you can find inspiration in the most random places. But we've tried to keep it heavy while balancing that line of, how do we progress our sound? But yeah, so you'll still hear things. There's still some pinch harmonics in there, some pick scrapes and things like that. But man, I can speak for me, and maybe I can speak a little for Josh, but I'm very, very stoked to have people be like, holy shit, you guys, you've been holding out on us, but we're happy you did. I'm going to shut up now once again so Josh can have an opportunity to speak.
As far as, to kind of piggyback off of what Cale was saying, Dan Bronstein, Zach Stravini, their overall mixing, mastering process, the sound that they make, they really transform the listener, and that's what we want to do with our music too. And as far as influences, when it comes to like our guitar, heavily volumes, North Lane, any like Meshuggah, very rhythmic, and we're now trying to add more, how can I say this? We want to add more, I don't want to use the word atmosphere because that's what you were saying, but we want to add more atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
And whether if that's, we're over here experimenting, like, let's see what this synth sounds like, or let's see what this chord sounds like. And if it fits it and it adds to this vision that we're going for, we're like, let's do it. I know this isn't something that we've done before, but we're, expanding what our sound is.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And in moments, did I hear it was either like backing synths or backing like orchestra elements going on?
In that last chorus, yes.
Yes. Because it, like the second or third time I was listening, all of a sudden that popped in. And I was like, wait a second. And then I kind of rewind and I kept listening over and over. And I'm like, there's something there. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Or that or I was losing my mind.
Yeah, we call that the super chorus. Yeah. So when it starts with just Cale and then full band, and then we're adding more instruments with it, just to really hone in that the chorus is the motif of the song, and that it just really leaves the listener with, what the meaning of the song is.
Yeah. I can say that better myself, dude. Yeah, and I mean, I think we had a writing template, and I look up, because I mean, we like to stay organized in our sessions, and I look up, and Josh has written like in the line super alpha omega emotionally driven chorus with an E or with a 3, and I was like, okay, we have to make this really, top tier. But yeah, he nailed it, and I know I keep talking, but it's because I'm so excited to finally talk about something, What else you got, man? Hit us.
Well, I will say it's awesome hearing that you guys are making music that you like, because I think that also resonates with any listeners. Like, we know when you hear something from a band that you like, you're like, that's not their style. There's something there that they're trying to achieve that just, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel authentic. And also, and I think some of the best albums and bands who have had the most success are the ones who are just authentic in themselves. They're like, yeah, we still have a sound, and we're adding elements to it, but there's still that sound there.
I think a great example of that is like Knock Loose. Brian Garris has just been doing the same shit for like 10 years. That's all he wants to do, and he is just getting after it. And I think one thing that's really important to Josh and I, and he can add to this if he feels free to, is we want to write music we want to listen to. Thing like that. Not because we wouldn't take it, it's just we don't need people in our ear telling us what to do and taking our vision away. Not that it's a gift from God or anything, but I think our taste is pretty respectable, and we come up with some really cool shit when we actually sit down. And I think you are 100% right, Dan. You just gotta if you force it, it's not gonna be good, and we don't want to force anything. So yeah, do you have anything to add to that? Okay, cool.
And I also think with today's era, 2026, with streaming and everything going on with social media and the internet, it is you. I don't want to say you don't need management, but it isn't like the 80s or the 90s where you really need management. You need a record deal. You need all this stuff to tour.
Yep.
Now you could do it on your own. You can learn how to do it on your own.
Yep.
And I think we're in the era now where I hate to say like the lazy musician, because there's never such thing to me as a lazy musician, but that idea is just out the window, especially in 2026.
Yeah, it's insane. And I love watching dudes. Like I'll bring Era back up again. I watched them play at Amsterdam Bar and Hall in St. Paul, and I was like, this is sick. And I was still just as amazed as when I saw them at 5,000 capacity venue like 5 or 6 years later. I'm like, that's what hard work does. Granted, they have management and stuff like that, but you see when you're able to see it firsthand, and you're like, okay, they deserve it. Not that I'm the decider of that, but we just believe, we're like, okay, we want to go on tour. How do we do this? And we just learn, and you hit the road and you make it happen. If you don't have that drive, I'm not saying you have no business in the music industry, but you have to be self-motivated, and not every day is going to be, really, I'm going to write a banger today. Sometimes you're like, that fucking sucks. I can do better. But you keep plugging away at it. You keep working at it. And I love seeing that fire in people and them coming out with music. And I'm just like, this shit fucking rips, dude. Like, I think another great example, we all are fans of Bill Murray in this band.
Yep.
And Johnny in that band, he just wants to write riffs and like vibe out. That's essentially the theme of this band. Obviously, we take shit seriously, as does Johnny, but like, we just want to have fun.
You're not cranking your hog.
That is a personal question, sir. But hogs are cranked. And this is our bus. Her name is Nancy. Hogs are cranked and Nancy all the time.
Oh, God. Well, that took a left turn where I was not expecting it, but yes.
Who knows?
Bill Murray does it.
Yeah. Why can't we?
Exactly. But also bands like, I would even go back with Enter Shikari, where they were fully independent, and I think they still are. And they just played Wembley like 2 years ago and sold most of it out. I'm like, that's insane. And then they'll come to the States and still play like 500 cap shows. Yeah. Just to like have those intimate shows. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, dude. And that's how it should feel. I mean, I think I'm going to go see Noah Khan and when I get back to Denver later this summer, and all of his shows have already sold out, and I love Noah Khan. But I think he deserves it, personally. Yeah. But I'm also just like, it is intimate because of his lyrical content, right? But 500 people in a room, it feels different than, a stadium full of 20,000 people. Yeah. That means the artists are getting paid, and we are 100% for artists getting paid. We love that here in Perth. But doing it yourself and figuring it the fuck out, like, man, that no one can take that away from you when you learn how to do that,
Mm-hmm. And I know we got to wrap this up fairly quick. I do have like 2 or 3 more quick questions. This new EP, like, what are you guys trying to accomplish? Is it start to finish that is atmospheric, that tells a story, that gets the listener involved, or what are you guys hoping to achieve? I'm curious.
I'll be quick. I think we just have a batch of songs that we wrote, and we want people to hear them and hopefully connect with them. I'll let Josh go into a little more depth.
I think with the songs that are going to be on Running in Place, they're all within this world. And, moments is that heartfelt of, loss and remembering the positivity. And then the rest of the songs resonate around that, but it's to help with the release and understanding of losing, that person or that relationship. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just really excited for people to hear it. People have been asking us when new music's coming out, and just like Kale was saying, it's like we put it out when we feel that it's ready for the world.
Yeah. All right. I do have 2 questions now. And then we're good. For musicians who are just getting started, what advice would you give them?
Practice. You gotta practice for sure. And within that practice, you find that self-motivation, and I would say hold on to it, because that's the driving force behind us, is that motivation.
I would also say, to figure out, it's important. You got to be a self-starter, unless you have a whole management team and you just have to show up at a venue and do your thing. Which is, we also have to do that, but like you can't see them, but they're back there rolling up merch right now for the night show. Like, we're involved in every single thing we do. If you are just playing shows, I don't know. I think hold on to the inspiration. You will lose it at some point. That happens to all of us. I don't know. We've been doing this together as a band for almost 10 years, and I think it's easy to lose hope. And I'm not trying to be all woo-woo and super positive, but like, you need it.
Yeah.
In some capacity or another, right? You can't just sit there and be like, well, I can't fucking do this. You have to believe in something. I would say having hope. Your music may not resonate with the audience you intended it to, but like you today, like, I've already listened to this song 5 times, which still blows my mind. I played it just to hear it because I'm looking at it on my phone like, damn, that's cool. But you can't control who your intended audience is, right? So hope, be motivated, come up with ideas, even if they're absolute shit and they're never going to see the light of day. Like, I think people lose that. They're just like, all right, I wrote a banger. All I write is bangers. How about you write a bad song and see what you can, like, grow from? And not that it would be a bad song or like it wouldn't be listenable, but I think another thing that's important to us and kind of what got us started is we just took our time. There's no rush. I think that's a huge thing. We crafted these songs. They're not the best songs in the world, but we sure do love them. We're not getting Grammys yet, but maybe one day we will. But we took our time crafting them. We had hope. And I'm not saying, look at us now, we're in a motor coach, but it's simple. But it is really hard to do things simply. And I think people lose sight of that. I sure have in my life. I've definitely overcomplicated it for no good damn reason. But I would say, yeah, hope, practice, as Josh said, and like, I don't know, just try to remain as inspired as you can. That's really important. I talk too much.
Well, I mean, I'll add a little bit to it too, because I've also learned how to take no as a positive critique. Where, starting out, you're like, for me, it was, hey, I want to shoot these bands. And being told flat out no sucked at first. And eventually, like, you just learn, like, okay, you got to get the thick skin. You got to understand, like, yeah, like, maybe I'm not good enough right now to shoot for this band. And realistically, looking back at some of those photos, they were not the best.
Yeah.
And also, even with podcasting and doing stuff like that, and I tell people, you never know who's listening. Mm-hmm. I try to push it as much as possible. I try to get people to watch it, to subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. You still don't know who's really watching. Where I'll bring back after my aunt's funeral, I got a chance to talk to my cousin. And the first thing he said to me, and I haven't spoken to him in probably 3-4 years, actually probably longer, because it was COVID, and then she got sick, and it became a whole thing. First thing he said to me, he was like, dude, I watch your YouTube channel. I watch your podcast. And he absolutely loved it. I was just like, what? just like I was dumbfounded. I was in shock. I was like, wait, somebody's actually watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've been just talking into the void this entire time.
I'm just like, I'm just trying to have good conversation with people, try to like learn so that the next generation, well, let me finish this thought really quick. This podcast all started because I'm 33. I'm like, if I could go back and talk to my 16-year-old self, what would I tell? And there's a lot. And I'm like, well, the next generation needs to know this. So that's where this whole entire thing started. And that's why I'm trying to interview as many people and talk to anyone, big, small, photographers, managers, everybody and anybody in the music industry. Let's talk. Let's help the next generation, because there's no one way of doing this in the music industry. And nobody knows how many different jobs there are in the music industry. I didn't know anything about lighting at 16. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that is Josh's area of expertise, actually. So we're pretty proud of our light show. It's, again, not life-changing, but
no.
It is.
But when it works with the music, when you have things queued up and saying, dude, it brings elements.
It does. And Josh literally painstakingly sits there. He's like, that light is off. And he will sit there for like, I don't know. I've watched him do it for at least an hour until it's perfect. But you got to have
Josh,
someone...
you and I would have... We would be buddies, because I'm the same way. I'm just like, that light needs to go a quarter inch this way, and it needs to strobe like a half a second difference.
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah, exactly. When it's for our light show, I always think of how to paint the stage with lights. You know, if we're being expressive with our instruments, I want the lights to reflect that too. And, you know, making sure, just like how you said, the spotlight is perfectly this way and flickering at the perfect rate is how I think can convey impact or movement on stage with the lighting.
Yep. Yeah, there's the Era and Currents tour. There was a band called they're Swedish, and I think it's spelled Aviana. I suck at pronouncing stuff. It's a simple light show, but how the lights were placed and when they were going off made it was very atmospheric hardcore. So, like, it was the simple light show made it so much better and made some awesome shots for me.
It's people forget how to do simple, and it is important to understand that can still be impactful, and you don't have to do all this great. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we had an LCD screen, wouldn't be too mad about that. If we had some pyro, that would be super tight. But like, we're working with what we got, and it fucking works.
To get sparklers.
Yeah,
some sparklers, some up sparklers.
Yep. Get some sparklers, put them on the like neck of the guitar. Just
shit, my hands.
Yeah, it's all for the music. It's the art.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, but before I get to the last question, where can people find you guys online and tour and all that?
We're on all streaming platforms, but if you just go to our main website, which is ffm.bio/PerthBandMN, you'll see all of our tour dates that are remaining, our current music, and all of our social medias are all on that website. But if you don't go to that website, it's just PerthBandMN on any social media platform.
Hell yeah. So the last question I got is, anyone discovering Perth for the first time, what song do you want them to listen to and why?
For me, I would say Halcyon. It gives a nice little taste of everything. Bouncy riffs, ambient kind of solo, clean singing, brutal vocals. It's pretty much Perth as if it was a little fortune cookie.
Yeah. I would probably have to agree with Josh. But there's 3 songs on Revenant that have clean vocals. Wait, no, the interlude, Insanity, and Halcyon. Insanity's heavy, though, and riffy.
Yeah. Where
I think Halcyon is riffy, but I think it's also on a major scale too, right? So people are like, oh, I feel good. So I'd probably have to say Halcyon, and then immediately listen to Moments, listen to Halcyon, The Ascent, and then Moments, because Halcyon is heavy in its own right. The Ascent is the heaviest thing we've done to date, and then you're like, okay, this is the direction they're going. So that would be my 2 cents.
All right. Love it, guys. I know you guys got to get loading in and doing everything else, so I'll let you guys go. But thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Everyone go listen to Perth's new song and go stream everything. Find them online, do all that stuff. Support them.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dan. This has been awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Of course, guys. And that was an awesome episode with Cal and Josh of Perth. And again, consider subscribing to myself, Dropclick Images, to Rock DNA Magazine, and Perth. Without your support, we can't do what we love. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the pit.